Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome, friends, to episode number 121 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. So if I were to make a list of the top 5 things that I coach on, tolerating uncertainty would be up there. An achiever's nightmare is uncertainty and lack of control. And that sentence alone may have given you the shivers, and not in a good way. So even if you think you're pretty laid back and flexible, when you don't get what you want fast enough, or if things sit in limbo for too long, it can feel intolerable. So how do you build up a tolerance for something you really don't like? That's exactly what we'll talk about today on this podcast. So I'm going to take you on a journey, one where you feel seen and heard, not because something's wrong with you. Tolerating uncertainty is not wrong that you don't like it, but because there's something really magical, and I want you to get to that place about understanding what that uncertainty is. So, do you remember what it feels like to not know the answer to something and it be okay? It's probably been a really long time. Ever since we were young and in school, the whole point was to know the answer. Now, as we get older and more advanced in our careers, we are literally paid to have answers to problems. And as a young kid, there was much more value to exploration, to creativity. And now I see such a drive to explore everything, but for the purpose of figuring out what that one thing is going to be, and then we'll be good at it and then do it forever. You see that, right? Even with kids, we had a conversation with friends of ours about the activities on our kids' agendas. And questions came up like, what is too much? What's the point of it? How do you know when you're leading them or letting them take the lead? And the same thing happens as an adult. I remember making big strides to master efficiency. How much time could I squeeze out of the day to get everything done? Having a car service, for example, was because I needed to work and not drive from place to place, not because of the luxurious experience. And while this is something I still appreciate, I also have more tolerance for inefficiency. And it's not because I'm being lazy. And the reason is because there's something more that I want more than efficiency. I'm open now to opportunities for connecting with other people, for example, or for being more intentional about the choices I make. I may lose time, I may lose money in the process, but it is completely worth it. What's the point of doing more with my time if it's not something meaningful to me or not even helpful? So giving up something is doable. You just don't want to give up anything, be it time, money, or resources, unless we see or know or have a feeling that there is something even better on the other side. And what you think you're giving up is uncertainty. And we see uncertainty as a losing, as a loss of control. So tolerating uncertainty is the act of desiring something more than the uncertainty. You have to get something over the other side of that mountain that is more important to you. So one thing that could be more important than uncertainty is freedom. Freedom to do what you want with your time, freedom to not hold control as your number one value. And uncertainty isn't always a bad thing, but we have bought into the concept that it's not good. We've labeled uncertainty to mean that something is wrong, when in reality, Uncertainty is the prelude for change. You might have thought that, quote unquote, leaders are not uncertain, therefore I shouldn't be uncertain because I am a leader. Is that really true? What if leaders saw uncertainty as a fact of life? What if uncertainty just meant that you were really grounded in reality? Things change. Things are constantly changing, whether you want them to or not. So what if you didn't need to know how to handle something right now? If you didn't know how, you would become more resourceful. Why? You would create a path that is unique. You would actually figure things out. You would look at what's happening around you. You would take the momentum of what's going on and you would move with it. If you were grounded in reality as a leader, which is that the world is uncertain, you would find yourself handling real world problems, not trying to escape them. So this thought, sometimes we think, oh, well, I want to be a really strong leader, yet I want nothing to ever be uncertain, is just counter to the facts of life, which is why you feel such a sense of stress or unease in your body when you're thinking of facing the thought of leadership, of greater leadership. You're thinking, okay, well, that means I have to control more. I have to make more things happen exactly the way I think they will, versus I need to be able to tolerate more uncertainty. And uncertainty is actually the space that you need to draw upon when you're looking for your own wisdom and your own intuition. And you're exercising that muscle of listening to your inner voice, combined with the experience of others, combined with the reality of what is happening around you. So who are you when you don't have the next thing done? When you don't have the next thing planned? And when the path isn't laid out for you, you end up creating it. You make more intentional choices about which path you want to take because it's not predetermined. So I want you to own that there is a great responsibility for you to tolerate uncertainty. And it's not going to come from an overwhelming uncertainty type of place, because many of you are already feeling overwhelmed with all of the unknowns. But instead, I want you to focus more on being in a place where you get to create something from the unknown that is better than what you knew before. And that is the responsibility I'm talking about. That is the responsibility of someone who can lead us to what's next. So tolerating uncertainty is really about cultivating patience for results. And patience isn't just about being nice or flexible with people. The patience that I'm talking about is more about your tolerance for uncertainty. How committed you are to growth and results will be how tolerant you are with uncertainty. Why? Because growth is not linear. And the results you want to see in your life are also not going to come from a linear path. I want you to think about what you've already accomplished, the things that you have certainty around. Many of you have experience at this point in your life with your careers or with people. You have experience, yet you still feel uncertain about something. There's no amount of knowledge that will cure intolerance for uncertainty. You're going to know, and you're going to know more, and you're going to figure out more, and you're going to read all the things, and you're going to find out more, but you will still have to make a decision, and the thing that ends up happening may or may not work the way you thought. So uncertainty is a goalpost that's in our minds that keeps shifting farther out. Once you make a decision or you let something go, you'll find something else to feel uncertain about, and you will find something else to mull over. So congratulations, you will always have it in your life, and this is why we need to build the tolerance for it. And this is how you go from a life of just checking off the boxes one after another to feel like you're in control, to someone who is actively looking at their lists, their to-dos, and saying, is this really necessary or important? And how do you do that? How do you go to that place? You cultivate certainty in knowing that you can tolerate uncertainty. When you join me in coaching, I teach practices for how to tolerate uncertainty and create safety from within. Instead of trying to master everything outside of you and hoping that you can keep making money the way you have or having the job you currently have, you will master everything inside of you. You will become the person that isn't stressed about everything and everyone. You will have a sense of patience that allows you to enjoy your life and the experiences that exist today amidst change. When you tolerate uncertainty, you lead from within. You feel a different sense of purpose, and you get excited about change as it happens and uncertainty. And if you want those kind of results, sign up for a coaching consultation today at mayemson.com/contact. I will show you how you can tolerate more uncertainty, how to create safety from within so that you can have more of this life experience, more of the richness that you have already created in your life, more of the presence, while doing less. And it is time to step into that energy of the leader who knows that this kind of original thinking, this questioning, this intentionality, this let me see further out even if I don't know the answer, because I'm comfortable with a changing landscape. That is their next step. Less control means more freedom and more results that you go after, that you start to see, that you get very grounded and clear upon, because you can actually take out all the stress from your brain. Let go of the job, the way of working, the way of thinking, who you think you are, so that the next version of life has a chance and some space to step in. It is waiting for you, my friends. It is waiting for you. So that's it for this week. Have an amazing one. I love you, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. It'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.